Whew. All right, we're here. There we go. Make sure this is set. What's up? What's up, man? Can you hear me? I hope y'all can hear me good. Can y'all hear me good? I just need like something to let me know that you guys can hear. We just want to verify. Perfect. What's up? What is up? What's going on? Happy Tuesday. That's something you don't hear. Happy Tuesday, right? What's up, fam? Appreciate you guys for joining Trade Talk Tuesday. As I said, I'm back. This is another week in a row, so I'm definitely staying consistent with making sure I provide all the information that's available for you guys. So for starters, I do want to start this over with a disclaimer. Any and everything I said here today is for entertainment purposes only. Do not act on any of these things without speaking to your financial advisor or do your own research. Now we can get back to the scheduled programming. The lawyer told me I had to make sure that before I say anything, I need to speak about a disclaimer, so that is said. Another thing as well, real quick. So pretty much it's like I'm getting back into the flow of things. I'm gonna have a guest on. I have like a few people in mind who I've reached out to, and I want to see like who the first person is going to be. And I've been thinking about going like back into the real estate realm of it and getting someone there, mainly because like everything, like all the shit going on with real estate, a lot of people have like, they say so, or like, like what's best and so forth. So I'm gonna get, I'll probably get someone who's been on the show before to get back on and speak about that. But besides that though, a lot of shit has been going on in the markets today, whether it's a trading aspect, if it's cryptocurrency, commodities, like it's really crazy. And you guys already know I love the market. I love the volatility, mainly because again, like there's so much opportunity for us to make money, especially as traders and investors as well. Like it doesn't matter. You could be shorting the market, you could be buying different things as well. So it's just great. Speaking about that, I'll go straight into crypto. I'll start off with that. Bitcoin 35K is insane. Like, did we see it coming? Not necessarily. Well, the technicals it did show us, like we had 27,000 that was holding for like a little while. Me personally, I don't see Bitcoin going to the numbers that people are saying. Like people are saying that Bitcoin is going to like, 300,000 and so forth. I personally don't see that. I think there's so many factors that comes into it, for Bitcoin to not reach those levels. And also, if it does eventually reach those levels, you got to really think about how powerful or how weak the dollar would be for it to be like that. Like, I don't think it would be like Venezuela, and the dollar would be pretty much like useless from that aspect of it. But it is pretty amazing for that to be. Speaking about that, I can already put a disclaimer out there, but I also think that a lot of people who are now jumping into Bitcoin should not be in Bitcoin. And the reason why I'm saying that is because, again, as of right now, the current price of Bitcoin, let's go to the real time, right? So current price of one Bitcoin is currently, the Dow, man, that was good. Currently a Bitcoin we're at 34,000, right? So we have literally 34,000 to get one coin. Now, the reason why I don't think that you should be investing a huge amount into Bitcoin because the average person does not have $30,000 to go invest into Bitcoin. Why? Because if for starters, Bitcoin is speculative, like it's the idea that it will increase. It's not the certainty that it will increase. Like, I mean, we still can't say certainty because at the end of the day, it still can decrease, right? There's people who got in today at 35K, and right now they're underwater. Why? Because Bitcoin is currently 34.1K. So like what I personally think that you should do, you should also look into like different coins that hold value. That could be Ethereum, that could be like XRP. These things hold value, and you also don't have to put a large capital into it to get the same amount of return. Like as of right now, Bitcoin is currently 34K, but like XRP is currently 56 cents per coin, right? And we go to like ETH, which is Ethereum, that's 1,700 per coin. So like when it comes to the sense of how far these things will increase, you'll get better return on investment by investing to those type of coins with a lot of better usage than you would into Bitcoin. Because in reality, it's like the average person is not putting 30K into Bitcoin right now. But let's just say if you do, you put 30K into it right now, right? And let's say for you to double your money, it has to go to at least 60K. The odds of that happening, I mean, it seems as if it will. However, it's like that same type of return you can get on a fast and quicker pace if you go like Ethereum or like XRP, which is Ripple. Why? Because again, like if you put in 30K into XRP or 30K into Ethereum, and that return XRP at 56 cents, right? We go to $1, you damn double your investment, and that's 30K. And like the likeness of us going back up with XRP, the likeness of us going to $1. I mean, I don't want to be certain and say we'll get there soon, but I mean, the way the markets are looking, especially from like the overall weekly time frame, it's really likely that we're gonna reach those levels. So that's something I think you guys should pay attention to. Another thing as well, speaking about real estate, 'cause I did mention that earlier. So this is my thoughts on this real estate thing, because I do want to have my share on this, and mainly because like I put an email out. If you guys haven't joined my email list, you're bugging. Like every day, 10 o'clock, 10 a.m., I'm jumping into your inbox, letting you guys know what's going on from an overall economic point of view, as well as the markets, crypto, and so forth. So you definitely want to hop into that. It's free as well. It takes like a few minutes to read. A lot of tips, a lot of strategies for you to go about how to put your money, where to put your money, and so forth, which I'm going to go speak to in a second. But if you guys want to do that, head over to the link in my bio and join my free newsletter. But besides that, though, I do want to talk about real estate quickly before I really keep diving into it. And again, if you guys have questions, stop me anytime. Y'all can say things as well. But the thing about real estate that I think is very interesting and funny is that people are still saying that now is the best time, to buy a home. And my idea, my take on this, well, for starters, so we already know that as of right now, the average income needed to have a home that's required is 115K. So like, if you think about it that way, the average household income is 75K. So the average household income is 75K. The average household income needed to buy a medium home is 115K. So off rip right there, that's more than $30,000 that's missing from the household just for you to purchase a home. Now, I'm saying that because, again, you see a lot of people still saying that, now's the best time to buy. Rates are at, 8%. They're not going to go up or that case and so forth. And it's very difficult for someone to say that now it makes more sense to buy than rent for a few reasons. So for starters, when it comes to and this is another thing as well, a lot of times people get the information from social media, but in reality is that's like YouTube, right? And this is something I was speaking to someone earlier today as well. A lot of times we'll get information from YouTube, how to learn certain stuff, certain crafts, but that's more of a general point of view. So individually, when you're talking to someone individually about your current state, your current financial situation, that differs from what you should be doing from an overall point of view. And it's the same sense as if you go to no shots, but InvestFest, right? You listen to Diddy speak. That right there is from an overall point of view. Diddy's speaking from a general point of view. He's not speaking to you directly. So he can say things like, start a business, get an LLC, do this, and so forth. And everyone's just jumping out and doing that. However, for you personally, that might not be the best decision for you to move forward with, right? Because just because you have the ability to open up a business or LLC doesn't mean that you should be doing that, right? Just because you have the opportunity to do it, regardless, you could insert whatever it is there. It doesn't mean that you should be doing that. So you want to see what's the best route for you to take based on information that's being presented to you before moving forward. So I'm saying that because, again, a lot of people, y'all be on here. For starters, most of these people is they full of shit, to be honest with you. They really just full of shit, and they just haven't enough time to expose themselves. But yeah, y'all gotta really be mindful of that. It's mad people on the internet who really just full of shit. And that's really why I don't really rock with a lot of people. But anywho, let me not get, that's a whole nother conversation. But yeah, as I was continuing from what I was saying, so it's when you hear that you should be buying a house and so forth, it's very difficult for you to really agree to that, mainly because of everything that's going on, right? So look at your current situation, right? Does your current lifestyle, does it make sense for you to own or rent, right? Because people forget that when you own a home, right? Because they say own a home costs X amount of dollars, rent a home costs this amount of dollars. If you're renting, you're paying for somebody's mortgage to an extent. But besides that, it's not as if own a home is $1,500 a month, and then rent a home is let's say $1,300 a month, or let's say $1,600 a month. There's more stuff that comes with that. When you own a home, you don't just pay for the mortgage. You got to pay for a down payment. See if you qualify first. Pay for the down payment, and then from there, then you have a mortgage. You have PMI costs, you have the insurance, all those things that get added to that. And then on top of that is maintenance that a lot of people don't understand that's required for a home. When you're renting, you don't have to worry about that. For us, the dishwasher went out. I don't got to pay for that, right? Our washer and dryer had went out. We got a brand new one. I didn't have to pay for that. So it's the flexibility that comes with that. And then on top of that, I don't have to stay in my current location if I'm renting. Right? I mean, if I'm buying a home, like if I'm renting, it's like if I want to leave, peace out. Like I could just dip off and go do what I choose to feel. So yeah, just be mindful of those things as well when it comes about it. But again, like really just like a whole gist of it, look at your personal situation to see if it makes the most sense for you to either be renting or if you should be owning a home, and then just do the math. Like if the math makes sense for your lifestyle and so forth, then go that route, right? Like not every single person, they want to build wealth within real estate. And in reality, it's like you don't have to. Like I'm not saying that you shouldn't, but it's like there's more ways to build wealth. And people keep saying like, well, millionaires build wealth with real estate, which is true. But in reality, everyone's money is in the markets. Let's be real. Like you can say whatever you want, but that's not up for debate. Literally, building wealth is in the markets. It's in the markets. It's also equity as well. That's really how you build wealth. You know, there's really no way around that. Equity comes from a home. It comes from businesses that you own. It either comes from the markets, owning different stocks, ETFs, and so forth. So be mindful of that. All right, let me continue going forth. Again, if you guys have any questions, stop me anytime and just ask me away. But besides that though, so another thing about about Bitcoin. I was talking about crypto as first. So the interesting thing about Bitcoin is that BlackRock, they came in, and pretty much BlackRock ETF is the huge reason why Bitcoin has spiked up. Why? Because like it's forcing BlackRock, forcing all these banks to buy Bitcoin or have exposure to that. And with exposure to that, that means that their clients have got exposure to that as well. Right? Supply and demand. More people are into it, the price will increase. So it's like ideally going to happen. However, like I just personally don't think that Bitcoin is going to go up to like 300K the way other people are saying that it will. And I really don't think it's going to surpass 100K, but that's again another topic as well that I don't really want to. I would have to dive more deep into that to speak on why. But yeah, it's so much data on that. But besides that, I had notes, and what's funny? I keep saying it's like, I'm gonna have notes, and I keep just going over the top of my brain. But I literally have notes that I want to talk about. But then I realized that when I was writing my notes down, I didn't order shit. Like I was just like writing notes, like, oh, I want to talk about this, I want to talk about that, and I didn't give myself time to really go in it. So more likely, I probably just freestyle again until you guys ask questions. Or I gotta probably just like jump in and see what's going on. We do have the fact that I'm gonna keep spinning around in real estate, crypto, the markets, and so forth. So another thing as well, the markets have been going crazy rapidly this week so far. It's only Tuesday, which is amazing. Even the Dow damn near finished bearish, and then after that we had like a end of the day move that really pushed price up. What do I have? What do I have to talk about? I'll talk about that. All right, I'll talk about that. So I was on a call with a student of mine Monday morning, and I was, we were just talking, and then as I was talking, I was like, it started to make a lot of sense, right? So going back to this real estate thing, have you guys noticed that, for starters, a lot of these big banks, they lost a shitload of money from like 2020 all the way to now. It could be from loans, it can be from rates increasing, all that, but they've lost money, especially with delinquencies. Like delinquencies across the board have been skyrocketing. All the delinquencies are higher than they were in 2008. Credit card delinquencies are higher than they were in 2008. Credit card debt is at an all-time high and continues to increase. So all of this shows us that these banks are losing money. However, if you guys have noticed, the big banks like BlackRock as well as JP Morgan, they have been viciously purchasing real estate left and right. Like literally they're purchasing cities, not cities, but they purchasing neighborhoods and so forth. So it looks as if they are looking to get their money back from that, because as rates are going up and mortgages are going up, making it difficult for a person to become a homeowner, they have no choice but to rent. Right now, if I'm BlackRock or if I'm JP Morgan and you have no choice but to rent, and I already been losing a shitload of money, who you gonna rent from? You gotta rent from me now, because you gotta live somewhere, right? So it's like you can't own a home, so you gotta rent from me. So it's like, I think it's a good play for them to make their money back that way. Why? Because again, we're hearing all this shit from the media about BlackRock, JP Morgan, or not even them buying banks, but not banks buying homes, more in the sense of things are becoming unaffordable home-wise, right? But it's like at the end of the day, the banks, they pretty much pay for advertisement, right? Here's $1 million. Y'all need to talk about this for the week, right? These publishers are going to go that route. CNBC, it's just ads. At the end of the day, it's just all ads. So it's like all this is making a lot of sense as to why we're being told that mortgage rates are increasingly becoming unaffordable. And the fact of the matter is that these banks, you guys have to go about paying that with these banks. Speaking about that as well, let's go back into the markets and that aspect of it. So as I said to you guys, like the Dow has been going like stupid up and down. Same thing with oil, same thing with gold, and especially because there's war things going on. So as I mentioned last week, we have so much uncertainty in the markets when it comes to the war, when it comes to just overall consumer debt, which is at an all-time high as well. So like all these things is not beneficial for the markets, even mortgage rates, right? Like right now, mortgage rates is damn near 8%, right? And people look at it as if like, they say things like, well, mortgage rates were, 18% in the 80s. I think it was 81, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that. I actually might be wrong. It may not be 81, but I believe it's October of 81. I could be wrong, but I believe it's October of 81 was the last time we had mortgage rates. Not that high, but that was the highest. I believe it was 18%. But the reason why I'm saying that is because like we compare what's going on now to what's going on then when it comes to the economy. However, like stagflation, hyperinflation, all those things, we don't quote unquote have that now. But the most important thing about comparing stuff now to then is that you have to adjust for inflation. And that's what a lot of people don't do. So like, yeah, mortgage rates were 18% in 1981, or let's say the 80s. In the 80s, however, at the end of the day, if you adjust for inflation now and then, mortgage rates is way higher than 18%. Like the 8% is higher than it was, again, because you have to adjust for inflation. Even these last 3 years, your purchasing power of your dollar decreased, right? So like, believe these last 3 years alone from like 2020 to now, if you have $1 in 2020 compared to right now, it would be about like 80% purchasing power. So that's damn near, that's 20% that you had dropped from just that few amount of years. So if you adjust for inflation, right now with mortgage rates, it's ridiculously higher than it was beforehand, but we forget about that. And again, I'm saying that because a lot of times we keep looking at what the data is presented to us, but the data is manipulated, guys. Like at the end of the day, even when it comes to GDP and stuff as well, it's like based off of like, how much things cost and so forth. But if things cost more now than it did last year, of course people are spending more. Why? Because things cost more. But if I tell you, if the data comes out and it says that, hey guys, we're in a recession, hey guys, shit is not good, then it's like, that's not going to be helpful for the average American. They're going to be freaking out. They're going to go realize that their investments are down and so forth. So like all these things is not really showing that it's great signs for what's to come. And then on top of that, can you pass my water, please? Yeah, I don't know why I wilded out. I'm like over here like parched as hell. Sorry about that. But what's I going with this? What was I saying? Forgot. Oh, right, that's what I was saying. All right, so in reference to like the state of the economy, like, and I'm 100% will say this week after week because I really want you guys to understand that the economy right now, we're not in a good place. Like, it's really Bot is funny. Bebop, you should be on COD, bro. But we're not in a good place economy wise. But it's like, I don't want to be that person who's like, telling fear mongering and stuff, but I'm being real. Like, y'all gotta get y'all shit together. Like, even me, like all of us, we gotta get our shit together. We gotta make sure that we're in line to strive for greatness. Not even greatness, but we're in line to better perform the way we want. And then another thing as well is that I also want you guys to understand that things are gonna take time. So it's like, we forget that like we are in charge of the way things are gonna go within our life. However, we can't control everything, right? You can only focus on what you can control. It's just like that whole meme, which it's like your plan and God's plan, right? Your plan is a straight line. God's plan is that you got to go through all these hurdles just to get you to your destination. So a lot of times we don't realize that what we're doing in our life, we're going through hurdles, right? We're going through hurdles to get us to where we want to go. But we don't look at it as a hurdle. We're like, oh my gosh, like shit is going bad for me. I can't do this, I can't do that, and so forth. But at the end of the day, like we learn more from our losses than we do from our wins. Like just imagine if you just win all the time, like no adversities, nothing resistance, like just literally straight win. There's no true growth in that. Why? Because like, what are you learning? You're not learning anything, but you're just learning that, okay, I'm a winner. Like, yeah, you could be a winner and still lose, right? Like in the NBA, like the Denver Nuggets, they didn't win every single game, right? they won games and they also lost games. At the end of the day, when we look back, we see they won the chip. So it's like as you're focusing on your life and you're really going down your path, you gotta remind yourself that if you're going from like 0 to 15, back to 12 to 20, back to 10, and then up again, like you're still increasing, right? Like you're like the whole, like J. Cole once said this. He said, suddenly my current highs is suddenly my old lows. So it's like we forget that though. Like your life is getting better, but we don't see it that way. So it's like we learn more when shit is not going in our favor. However, at the end of the day, when shit is not going in your favor, you can't say, woe is me, right? You got to say to yourself, like, what's going on that I got to adjust? Like, what's going on that I got to fix, or something's off? And once you take the time out, and this is why it's so important, guys, to like, not just meditation, but journaling, but it's so important to just like take time for yourself. Like, you got to have time to think. If you're always on a go, you don't have time to just think and plan correctly, because people don't plan to fail, they fail to plan. But if you take the time out, you plan correctly, you can see what's going on. You can see where you're messing up at. You can see the things that have to be adjusted for you to fix for the future. And right, you can see how to plan correctly. What can I do to pivot? Right? Like, because again, there's never going to be a straight path. Even trading, guys, like there's no such thing as like you're winning every single trade. And even on social media, like people make it seem as if they're winning all the time, but that shit is not true. Like you're not winning every single trade. Even me, I don't win every single trade. No trader wins every single trade. But what they'll do is they talk to you as if like, yo, I'm always winning, I'm never losing. And it's like, that's not true. Like what you're doing, you are losing. Like you're just winning more than you're losing. So if you was to, again, I can win Monday, Tuesday, right? Wednesday, let's not do that this way. Let's say this. I can lose Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, right? And Thursday. Let's say I lose 4 days. That fifth day, you can make all those gains back and then some, and then you can have a winning week. So we get caught up as traders. We get caught up like, oh my gosh, I lost a trade. I must suck. Like, nah. Like, even your trading plan is not designed for you to win 100%. And even in life, you're not going to win 100%. But you got to make sure that you're winning more than you're losing. But again, even as a trader, you got to go back and see, yo, all right, I lost this. What's happening for me to lose? Like, what went wrong? Oh, that went wrong. Bet that makes sense now. So now when I go back into the field, I can know how to trade it and adjust it, and then literally just trade for the better. And same thing with life. Like, it don't matter what field you in. I don't give a damn if you're working for yourself, if you're working for a company. It does not matter. It's like your life is about improvement. Across the board, you gotta improve, because literally if you're not improving, then you're dying. And like, again, I'm not saying that, oh, every day you're going to be better, because you gotta be realistic, right? You also gotta understand that it's like, you can strive for greatness, but that doesn't mean that every single day you're gonna be great, right? You strive for that, but some days it's like, yo, what the fuck is going on? Like some things, it just doesn't go in your favor, but that's okay. You just gotta make sure like, all right, today's not going in my favor so far. Let me take a step back. Right? Let me see what I gotta change to adjust. Even myself, like it took me a while to really get that and grasp that. But once you get it, it's like, yo, it's gonna happen over time. Like, or even I just lost a day. Like, it could be an emotional point of view, it could be financial, physical. It's like sometimes we're not gonna be at 100, but that is okay. But we have to realize what's going on right now that's forcing me to not be at 100. And when I understand that, now, okay, how can I pivot to move accordingly so I can be back up there and then continue to surpass those resistance that I put on myself. But if you guys have questions so far, H2O, that's fine. What's up, bro? If you guys got questions so far, we can tap back in and see what's going on. And I'm gonna looking through these notes that I have written out. These are all over the place too, and I'm gonna see what I have for you guys. But I want to go with. Okay, I'm not gonna talk about that. Talk about that another day. Because then I gotta go back and forth into that. Also, I am praying for everyone who do have loved ones who were killed or really stuck in the Middle East. That whole situation going on. I'm praying for you guys. My heart is in, and everyone's in prayers. But if we got anything, let me know. And as I said too, like, again, I'm not wishing death for anyone, but like all the stuff that's going on, there's so much opportunities, for you to make money, right? And it could be from a trader aspect, it could be from a marketing aspect, it could be like in general. Like it's so crazy because like I see people on social media, right? Like matter of fact, they have that thing. I forgot what it's called, where they're like yum yum yum, and they're like grabbing the food, it's like floating food and stuff. People making money off that, and it's so crazy, like literally hundreds of dollars. I'm like, for what? Like, but it's so like we live in a society that is like a lot of us we so stuck on like we so stuck on watching other people like live their life that we just want to like, you know what? I'm just gonna pay to watch them live their life. I'm not even gonna do it myself. It's so backwards, but hey, it works for people. And that's what they love to do. So it's like, hey, by all means. But again, there's a market. Like there's a market for literally every single thing. Like this is like the best time ever to have a side hustle. Like I don't care if you want it to be legal as well. But like there's so many ways, guys, for y'all to make money. And Poly Syndrome, brother. Yeah, a lot of people have that. But there's so many ways for you to make money today. So it's like, it's across the board. So just like, put yourself out there, guys. Like, honestly. Even me, I'm back doing this for you guys. Like, I just stepped away for a very long time. I think besides last week, last time I was doing this was months ago. And I was like, let me put some value back out there for you guys. Giving value. So, like, start putting yourself out there, guys. Like, you never know who can learn from you, right? And you never know who's, like, watching and who just need your advice or just need what your expertise is in. And again, it could be anything, guys. Like, it could be from cryptos. It could be like even just apply service to other individuals. Like I promise you, apply service. See how you can be of service. How can you help them out? Like what can you do to increase their life and make their life easier for them? And that's really how you go about doing it anyway. You gotta solve problems. Like the more problems you solve, the more money you'll make. Literally, look at Amazon. Amazon solves problems. Apple solves problems. Google, any company, they solve problems. So it's like you just gotta be a problem solver. And like what did Grant say? If I don't know you, I don't flow you. So like if people don't know who you are, it's very difficult for you to help them out and make their life easier. So you gotta like put yourself out there more. And it's also about being consistent. And not even just like not just like marketing, but overall, like our biggest superpower is being consistent. And we forget that, right? It's like if we're consistent, the ones who really win are not because they're better than you. It's not because they're smarter than you. It's just because they're consistent. Like literally every single day they're consistent, working on their craft, or working on whatever they choose to do so. And that's why a lot of times it's like you could be doing like people could be doing the same exact thing, but one person is more consistent at doing it, and that's the reason why people see who they are, or that's the reason why they're getting better results, because it's really about consistency. So yeah, just throwing that out there as well. It's 7:30 already. Oh wow. All right. Do we have any questions? If not, I'm gonna tap off and see. Another thing as well, if you guys are traders and you're looking to better your craft when it comes to trading, looking for better results, join my Discord, TPS. The link is in my bio. You click on the link below as well. Go to HanceMcKellar.com. All right, I see that the views are getting lower and lower, so those who don't have any questions, I'm going to tap off. All right, appreciate you guys for joining in for Trade Talk Tuesday. Give me a good 3 more episodes. Hold on, can you speak on consistency in relation to the setbacks? Oh yeah, perfect. So it's like setbacks gonna happen, bro. So it's like you gotta accept that and understand that. So like me personally, what I do is like when I'm dealing with a setback, usually I for starting want to write it out. Like what kind of setback are you dealing with? And then once you write it down, I bet. So I wrote down my setback. Let me see exactly what I can do to move forward, right? And the thing about it is that you gotta be open with yourself. So a lot of times we're not open with ourselves. We just we would say certain things and then we avoid the issues, right? And when you're avoiding the issues, you have no idea how to move forward correctly. So you gotta have an honest conversation with yourself of what do I suck at right now? Or what's going on in my life that I'm fucking up with? And once you write that down, I don't mean you know something, literally write it down. Because when you write it down, it's more realistic. It really hits you more because you're not just typing. But write it down, see what you're going through, and then from there, what has to be adjusted. Because there's always a reason why we lost. It could be mainly because of what we haven't done in the last 90 days. It could be lack of self-love. It could be a lack of self-care. It could be lack of attention to the right situation, the right things. But you gotta be honest and see what is going on right now that's not causing me to keep going up, or that's causing me to have this setback. And yeah, take it personal, but don't let it keep you down. Because once you have the idea, it becomes laughable. I'm telling you right now, it becomes laughable. Like, you're like, this is why I have this setback. So it's like, all right, you know what? I see what to do now. And then from there, like, just, all right, this is my setback. If I take this route, what is the steps that's needed for me to do that? All right, if I take that route, what's the steps that's needed? What's the pros and cons of each direction? If this direction makes more sense because I have more pros, then go with that direction. And then from there, allow time to be a factor. So we forget that when we have these setbacks and stuff, we forget that time is a factor for us to get out of it, right? It's not going to happen at midnight. It's not going to happen tomorrow. It's going to happen over time. But it's our job to stay consistent so it can happen over time. Because when we have a setback, let's say you have a setback today, and then tomorrow you're feeling good, right? So then the next day, you was feeling good yesterday. So, I'm good. I don't got to do it no more. Now you could have another setback because what you're doing, you're not prioritizing yourself to move forward correctly. What you're doing, you're just doing. So it's like you got to stay consistent. When those setbacks come into play, stay consistent because, again, it's not going to last. But if you're not realizing why you have that setback, then you're going to keep going backwards and backwards, and eventually you're just going to fall off. You don't want to be that person because that's what average people. You don't want to be average, bro. Being average sucks. No worries. Oh, Kiara, what's up? I didn't know you were here. All right, that is everyone today. And as I said, give me like a good 3 more episodes and probably that 4th one. Next month, definitely, I'm going to have somebody on and a guest going, and we're going to get that back going every 2 weeks, have a guest. But again, I appreciate you guys for tapping in. All love. And I'll see you guys next Tuesday. If you haven't watched this live, thanks for checking out the replay. Make sure you like this. Make sure you share this with others, friends, loved ones, co-workers, your babies, everyone. But all right, guys, peace out. Talk to you on Tuesday.